A few years ago, I had a health scare. I'm not going to share every detail here. We'll go into my own words on that a bit later. But what I will tell you is what it did to my wife, Ursula. It made her look at everything differently. I'm talking about what we were eating, how we were living, and then almost by accident, what we were putting on our skin every single day. So she started in our bathroom and she picked up every single product on the shelf. She turned it around and we're talking shampoo, body lotion, baby products, moisturizer, body oil, every single one. And she couldn't understand a word of what she was reading. Soft white paraffin, citosterol alcohol, methaparabalin, parabalin, ciconmatrigal 1000, long lists of ingredients on products marketed for the most delicate skin in the world. Some were good, some were bad. We couldn't tell which single one of them, what they were doing and why they were there. So she started researching, and one ingredient led to another. One paper led to the next. What began as a few late nights became months and eventually years of reading scientific journals, regulatory documents, dermatology research, and safety reviews from institutions across the world. That research led us on to a journey that eventually became Greer Natural. And this series is how we share everything we found. Not to alarm you, not to tell you what to buy, but to give you the tools to read a label yourself and make genuinely informed choices for your family. Most of us are not chemists. We're parents and people who care about our health. But we're navigating an industry built on front label promises that have nothing to do with what's actually inside the bottle. The front of a label, that's marketing. The back of a label is information. Most people never flip the bottle. Every episode of the Greer Natural series follows the same structure. 1, a real question that people are actually asking. 2, what the marketing says. 3, what the science actually says. 4, practical takeaways you can use today. And 5, the Greer ingredient check, where we decode a real product label together. There's no hype, there's no scare tactic, there's no pretending the science is settled when it isn't. Just honest education backed by sources that you can verify yourself. Many of us know that the skin is our body's largest organ. The average adult has roughly 1.5 to 2 square meters of it. And while it's a remarkably effective barrier, research confirms that certain ingredients, particularly smaller molecules, can penetrate the skin barrier to varying degrees. I just want to be careful how I say the next part because this space is full of overstatement. Your skin does not simply absorb everything. Your skin barrier does its job well. But the science does show that certain topical substances can be absorbed through skin. And the extent of absorption depends on the ingredients, its formulation, and the condition of the skin. For babies, this matters even more. Research shows that infant skin is substantially thinner than adult skin, and its protective barrier function is still developing throughout the first 2 to 3 years of life. This means that baby skin can be more susceptible to moisture loss, irritation, and the penetration of certain topical ingredients than adult skin. Now, it's not a reason for panic. It's just a reason to be informed. Here's something important I want to say before we look at any ingredients. Not all of the ingredients commonly found in baby products are there because of poor formulation. Some are genuinely effective. Some have decades of dermatological support behind them. And some products that contain synthetic-sounding ingredients are actually recommended by dermatologists for managing real skin conditions, like eczema. That nuance, it matters. Because this is not about creating a list of villains. It's about understanding what each ingredient does, why it's in a product, and whether it makes sense for your child's specific needs. So let's look at the ingredient categories that you're most likely to encounter on South African pharmacy and baby store shelves, including in some of the most widely recommended products for babies with sensitive skin and eczema. Now, this is one of the most common ingredients that you will find in baby and eczema creams sold in South Africa, including in emollient creams that are dermatologist recommended and widely used for managing conditions like eczema and psoriasis in babies and young children. Paraffin-based ingredients are occlusives. They sit on top of the skin, and they form a protective layer that reduces transepidermal water loss. For babies with eczema or compromised skin barrier, this occlusive effect can be genuinely therapeutic. It locks moisture in and helps protect the skin from further irritation. And this is why dermatologists often recommend paraffin-based emollient creams as a first-line treatment for dry and eczema-prone baby skin. So why do we talk about it at all? Well, because there is a meaningful difference between using a paraffin-based product therapeutically to manage a skin condition and use it as the primary moisturizer in a general baby lotion simply because it's inexpensive and effective at creating a sensory softness. Paraffin is an occlusive. It does not nourish. It does not deliver vitamins, essential fatty acids, or antioxidants. It prevents moisture from leaving the skin, which is different from building and supporting the skin barrier with nutrients. When we were building Greer Natural, we asked, what does a general use baby body oil need to do? The answer was nourish and support healthy skin, not just occlude it. And it's a different brief, and it leads to different ingredients. These are emulsifying agents. They help water and oil mix together into a stable cream. Cedomacrogol 1000 is a polyethylene glycol-based emulsifier widely used in pharmaceutical-grade creams, including many dermatologist-recommended emollient formulations in South Africa. Cetosterol alcohol is a fatty alcohol derived from natural sources, generally well tolerated and used to give creams their texture. Both are considered safe and effective for their purpose. Cetosterol alcohol in particular is often found in products marketed as gentle or sensitive skin formulas. They're functional ingredients. They help the product work, and neither is inherently a cause for concern in most people. Some individuals with very sensitive skin may find certain emulsifiers mildly irritating, but it's not the norm. The reason to know about them is simply this. When you see these names on a label, you can now identify what they are and why they're there, rather than feeling unsettled by an unfamiliar word. Parabens. They're synthetic preservatives used to prevent the growth of bacteria and mold in cosmetics and personal care products. They appear in many South African baby products, including some dermatologist-recommended creams, because they are highly effective preservatives and have a long safety track record in cosmetics. The conversation around parabens it's become more nuanced in recent years. Some laboratory and animal studies have shown that certain parabens, particularly propylparaben and butylparaben, can exhibit weak estrogen-like activity. This has prompted ongoing research into their potential endocrine effects at real-world exposure levels. Importantly, the human evidence is still being debated. Many regulatory bodies, including the EU's Scientific Committee on Consumer Safety, have concluded that methylparaben and ethylparaben are safe at current use levels in cosmetics, while applying stricter limits to propylparaben and butylparaben. Paraben-free formulations are increasingly available, and many brands, including the natural skincare space, use alternative preservation systems. At Greer Natural, we chose to formulate without parabens, but we also want to be clear. The presence of parabens in a product does not make that product dangerous. It is one ingredient consideration among many, and is your choice to weigh. This is a humectant. It draws moisture from the air into the skin and helps the skin retain hydration. Glycerol is one of the most widely used and well-researched skincare ingredients in the world. It's found in products across every price point and category, from basic pharmacy creams to premium skincare lines. It is generally considered safe. It's effective and suitable for baby skin. When you see glycerol or glycerin on a label, this is an ingredient you can feel good about. Now, this is the ingredient that surprised my wife most during her research, and it gets its own full episode, episode 2, because it deserves it. But for now, here is the essential thing to understand. In most countries, the word parfum or fragrance on an ingredient list is a single word that can legally represent a proprietary blend of potentially hundreds of individual chemical ingredients, none of which need to be individually disclosed on the label. It is worth noting that some of the most thoughtfully formulated baby products on the market, including several dermatologist-recommended emollient creams, are deliberately fragrance-free. This is not an accident. Fragrance, whether synthetic or natural, is one of the most common triggers of skin sensitization. And for babies with eczema or reactive skin, eliminating it entirely is a standard recommendation from dermatologists and allergists. If a baby product contains parfum or fragrance, it's a reasonable question to ask, why? The skin benefit of fragrance is zero. It's there for the parents' experience, not the baby's. Before we go any further, I just need to say something clearly, and I mean it. Not every natural ingredient belongs on a baby's skin. This includes some essential oils. And this is exactly why we're dedicating episode 4 entirely to essential oils. What they do, which ones are safe for babies, and at what age, which ones need to be avoided, and the ones that should never go on skin that will be exposed to the sun. Some essential oils like eucalyptus, peppermint, clove are genuinely too potent for newborns and young babies. They contain active compounds that can cause skin sensitization, respiratory irritation, and in some cases, more serious reactions. Even lavender, which is widely considered gentle, is recommended for use with caution and at very low dilutions in babies under 3 months. Certain citrus oils like bergamot, lemon, and lime are photosensitizing, meaning they can cause skin reactions when the skin is exposed to sunlight after application. For babies who spend time outdoors, this is a significant consideration. The age, weight, and skin sensitivity of each individual baby all affect how they respond to any topical ingredient, natural or synthetic. Formulation matters as much as ingredient choice. And this is why at Greer Natural, the NovaGlow Baby Body Oil uses only the gentlest botanical oils with no added fragrance and no essential oils that carry sensitization or photosensitivity risk. We'll walk through every ingredient in a dedicated episode. Now, at the end of every episode, we decode a real product ingredient list together in plain English. No chemistry degree required here. Go to your bathroom tonight, pick up any product, take a photo of the ingredient list and leave it in the comments under the YouTube video. We do read every single one. And the most interesting ones become the ingredient check in the next episode. We learn together. Greer Natural was built on the back of years of research that started with a health scare and a bathroom full of products we couldn't decode. And every product we make starts with the same question. Is this something that we would be completely confident putting on the most delicate skin in the world? Our NovaGlow Pregnancy Body Oil and NovaGlow Baby Body Oil are the result of applying that question to the 2 moments in life where ingredient quality matters most. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.